Nobody could say that there have always been as many boys as girls in ballet class, but there have always been boys in ballet class. And in fact, if you look at the history of ballet, men were just as important as women as dancers, and maybe even more important until about the early 1800s or so, when women started developing pointe technique, shortened their skirts. That made women more popular, and men dancers sometimes seemed to recede into the background. But in terms of ballet class in America, there was a stigma attached, particularly in the United States, to boys who danced. It was not always seen as something very masculine to do. So starting from the mid-20th century or so, ballet companies and studios and teachers started what was kind of a campaign, although not a very organized one, to sort of defend the masculinity of boys who were taking ballet class. Ballet companies set tough, virile dancers like Eddie Villela to appear on the Ed Sullivan Show to demonstrate how masculine they were. There was a lot of talk, both in professional and non-professional outlets, about the athleticism of ballet, how ballet was an important physical activity for boys. And there were also cultural moments that increased the number of boys in ballet class, particularly things like the movie Billy Elliot, a British movie about a coal miner's son who just wants to be a ballet dancer. And that had a marked impact on the number of boys taking ballet class in both the United Kingdom and in the United States. So over time, the stigma, although still there to some extent, has begun to dissipate, and there's less of an emphasis now on athleticism. Instead, there's other ways to bring boys into ballet. There's a lot of male dancer role models, particularly with the advent of competition shows like So You Think You Can Dance. And there's also, I think, an acknowledgement maybe that male dancers are a wanted commodity in the dance world. Not every boy who takes ballet class will be a professional dancer, just like not every girl will be. But I think that there has been real progress on integrating and accepting boys in ballet class over the 20th century.